Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood panda here, back again with another episode. And today's episode comes via Patreon request. Yes, I have a Patreon. I'm going to leave this link in the description below, but you ought to check it out. Because on the Patreon, for the $5 tier, you can get access to behind the scenes content, early releases of the videos that I put out, access to our Discord community, and on the $10 tier, you can get all of that. Plus, you can request some songs that I look at here on the channel. That's what happened today. We're going to be looking at Adele's A Million Years Ago, followed by the cover by Angelina Jordan. I have heard neither of these versions of the song, but I have heard a lot of other things from both of these talented ladies, and I am very excited to hear them both. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay.
I only wanted to have fun, learning to fly, learning to run. I let my heart decide the way when I was young. Deep down, I must have always known that this would be inevitable. To earn my stripes, I'd have to pay and bare my soul.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so at first it starts just her. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. And I love that because her voice is always so resonant there in that chest voice, okay? It is always very resonant and very full. She's got a little breathiness there, but it is still, she is not straining to go down there any more than she would, in her higher register. And the nice part also is, even though she's down there and you have to use a very small, mouth space in order to reach down there, she's still enunciating her words very clearly. You can understand every word she says. So I want to go back just a little bit so we can, I love all that, but I want to go back just a little bit so we can catch the transition to what I believe is a little bit of guitar coming in here.
Bare my soul. I know I'm not the only one who regrets the things they've done. Sometimes I just feel it's only me who can stand the reflection that they see.
Now you see what I'm talking about. She doesn't strain in any register she comes after. But every time, like I say, there's a lot of twang in her higher register, okay? And it could sound very nasally, but it is not. It is still very resonant throughout her head and in her chest. And she also is, again, enunciating very clearly so you understand every word she's saying.
That they see. I wish I could live a little more. Look up to the sky, not just the floor. I feel like my life is flashing by, and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss the air, I miss my friends, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was a party to be thrown, but that was a million years ago.
I love the emotion she's injecting in her voice. The lyrics are obviously very sad. Well, she is making sure she follows those lyrics with her voice. She is making sure that you feel it as well as hear it, okay? And so she has the sadness and the desperation of wishing she could go back to that million years ago, it seems like, when things were different. So I love that mix. I love that mix to where she is conveying the sadness, but a desperation to go back to it if she could.
When I walk around of the streets where I grew up and found my feet. They can't look me in the eye. It's like they're scared of me. I try to think of things to say, like a joke or a memory. They don't recognize me now in the light of day.
I also love how keeping just her voice and the two guitars brings into that melancholy kind of hollow kind of sound, so that you know this is an internal monologue. This is all in her head and in her heart. And she's saying these things to herself, speaking to someone out there in the ether, but it's still very lonely. And that, combined with the lyrics of the song, really brings home the message.
I know I'm not the only one who regrets the things they've done. Sometimes I just feel it's only me who never became who they thought they'd be. I wish I could live a little more, look up to the sky, not just the floor. I feel like my life is passing by, and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss the air, I miss my friends.
Okay, now she's getting a little bit of that growl and grit into her voice that's increasing the desperation of saying, I wish, I see all this, I wish I could change it, I wish I could go back. And so it adds to the desperation. That's a really smart move.
I miss the air, I miss my friends, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was a party to be thrown. But that was a million years ago, a million years ago.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I like that ending. I really do. And it's a very potent song. And she brings it forward in such a tender and sensitive way, even though, like I said, that desperation is there. But she's still so very sensitive in how she brings it forward. I cannot wait to hear how Angelina does it. With as young as she is, how is she going to bring forth that kind of emotion? It just be interesting to see. Let's see.
I only wanted to have fun, learning to fly, learning to run. I left my heart beside the way when I was young. Deep down, I must have always known that this would be inevitable. To learn my stripes I have to pay and bare my soul.
Now, there is no surprise, as talented as Angelina is, that she can bring that warmth and resonance to her tone. It's no surprise to anyone who has heard her sing. Now, given, again, this key she's singing what I believe is in the original key. But that means that as young as she is, she's struggling to get to that last note on soul. That's not a surprise, but she gives it her best try. And it kind of adds to, thankfully, it kind of adds to the atmosphere and the emotion that she has to kind of just breathe it out. That she can't quite make it. It's kind of like somebody who's getting choked up and can't quite get all the words out. So it works for this. but she still sounds extremely warm and resonant in her tone. Again, which is no surprise if you've heard her sing at all.
I know I'm not the only one who regrets the things I've done. Sometimes I just feel it's only me who can't stand the reflection that see. I wish I could live a little more. Look up to the sky and not just a flower. I feel like my life.
Okay, so we get, I think this is how she's sort of added to the emotion. As young as she is, okay, it is difficult to believe that someone this young could understand on that emotional and experience level what these lyrics are saying. But she's managed to inject that emotion in there just by the fact that she is young, and her voice doesn't always quite make it to some of the notes. And so her voice has a little bit of waver, and it has a little bit of that huskiness of someone her age. Okay. And so it kind of gives that, again, that person who is getting emotional and is trying to sing through the tears. Okay. Because we all know when we are crying, we can't always quite get the words out. And so it really works. They picked, even though this song can be a little much for her young voice, as mature and as gorgeous as her voice is, it can be a little much for her sometimes, but it adds to the emotion. So they picked, oddly enough, the right song, maybe not for the right reasons, but they did pick the right song here. I find that very interesting.
Life is flashing by, and all I can do is watch and cry. I miss the air, I miss my friend, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was a party to be thrown. That was a million years ago. Million years ago, when I walk around off the street where I grew up and found my feet, they can't look me in the eye. It's like they scared of me. I tried to think of things to say, like a joke or memory, but they don't work.
And there's another smart choice to add to the intimacy of the inner thoughts that this song is talking about. She is used, if you can see, the microphone that she has no guard in front of it. So there's a lot of mouth sounds that you hear, and and they have not edited them out in post production. There's still a lot of mouth sounds, a lot of breath. You can hear the even the guitar right next to her. You can hear the movement of him plucking the strings, and so it adds to that intimacy of being a person's inner thoughts. That was a really smart move too.
There's me now in the light of day. By, and all I can do is watch and cry. ago, a million years ago. Bye.
See, obviously, like I say, obviously talented, talented beyond compare. But, she was able to inject that talent, that emotion of those years of experience, even as young as she is, by the way she chose to present the song and work with things like the ambient sounds of her mouth and the guitar, and to work with the fact that sometimes, as young as she is, she's going to struggle a little bit with some of the notes, but she leaned into it, so it added to the emotion. That was a very smart move. Well, y'all, I enjoyed both of these very, very much. They were emotional but soothing in a way, and so I loved listening to them and really feeling with them. It was a little bit cathartic in a way. I love that, and I hope you enjoyed it too. If you did enjoy it, consider signing up for that Patreon and see if you'd like to send me a request so that we can do something new on the channel. I love finding new things like this that I normally wouldn't have heard, right? But if you can't join the Patreon, that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead and hit the like button here and the subscribe button and maybe the bell notification so you know when I post next. Those things help out the channel tremendously, and they don't cost you a thing. All right? But in the meantime, have a good day, night, evening, morning, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you in the next one.